the left eye empty socket. And then, as you begin to demonstrate the article, I have the brochure of the man who said it was a hoax. Well, he took it, turned it around, and began to read it. He began to read it with the eye empty, no eye in the socket, no plastic eye, no glass eye. Then he popped it back in and read with it in. Well, what can you say? An irreasonable miracle. God does work miracles. I've seen short legs. I've seen a man who had a tooth problem, and the preacher prayed for him and asked God to fill his teeth, and the man went back to the dentist, and he asked the dentist to check the fillings in his teeth. The man's name was Lester Moldmark, so I'll never forget him out of Little Rock, Arkansas. And he went back to the dentist, and the dentist started going around and
WBCQ reaches millions of listeners. Maximum airtime on WBCQ. For a day or an entire transmitter, whether an individual or an entire network, we will tailor a schedule to fit your programming needs. Contact us at WBCQ@WBCQ.com. Always feel free to call us at 207-286-5483. WBCQ International Shortwave. Always there, always free speech. This is the world famous WBCQ, Monticello, Maine, USA. This is the
We're going to be pretty ill if we have to eat 1,000 pieces of cake.
Welcome to Marion's Attic on WBCQ, Monticello, Maine, in the United States of America. $4.90 on the dial. And how about that? Global community radio and all the other ways you can hear Marion's Attic. Yes, I'm Marion Webster, and along with me is, guess who? It's Christina. Hello, dear.
Hello, yes, I'm Christina.
You should know that by now. This is the 1,000th program. Would you believe it, Christina?
Wow.
What are we going to do? We're going to entertain you. What are we doing on the program?
Okay, on this program, we're celebrating our 1,000th show
1,000?
on WBCQ The Planet. We'll be providing the shortwave listener. What, Marion? We'll also be reviewing our 25 years of being part of the world's most unique and important radio station.
old one. It's from about 1900.
Okay, this one will be Tell Me Pretty Maiden by Victor Herbert's band. It's a xylophone record that's 7 inches in diameter. It's a xylophone 1514 from 1900.
It's a very early record. Here we go on the garage. Welcome to 1,000 programs of Marion's Attic. That was from the Princess Dollar. It was around 1898 or 9, somewhere around there. Well, would you believe it? Here we are doing a 1,000 program, Christina, and normally we do not use any scripts. We don't have anything written down. We say what comes to mind, and we announce the records, and this time we don't need them.
Yes, we absolutely. When we were going over everything here, it's like, wow, we have a lot of material here. And like Marion said, we normally don't use scripts, but because we have so many things to say for the show 1000,
Thank you. Well, how did we get started on Marion's Attic? How did we? Well, here's the story. A friend of mine told me that Aaron Wiener, he's the owner of WBCQ, was looking for programming, and the airtime cost was reasonable. I had always wanted to do a radio program featuring cylinder records, and I loved shortwave radio too, so this was an incredible opportunity for me to make others happy. So I sent Alan Weeder an audition tape of the 2 half-hour programs of Edison 2-minute wax cylinder records with me announcing them. I'm afraid he didn't know what to make of it, but he did put me on the air.
And Marion's first time slot was Tuesday, September 21st, 1999, 4:30 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It was a dubious spot on the WBCQ free speech radio schedule. She was sandwiched between a Canadian neo-Nazi and a Seventh-day Adventist. Even so, Marion got some fan mail after that first show. And over time, Marion's delivery improved, and we produced 28-hour programs until Alan offered Marion the Saturday evening 9 to 10 p.m. time slot. And it was an honor. And that's I joined her as her assistant.
You've done wonderful. And here's one of your daring early clips. You thought you were going to die. Here's a clip of an early show. It's show number 35. It aired 2000, in which I drove around a lot and with Christina, we went to the post office and we ended up beeping at everybody.
Yes, we did.
Anyway, here's an excerpt.
I'm still here.
You're right. Here we go. I gotta press this. Christina. Pretty good. You're having a good time with me?
That's where you're going.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
Look out for that kid on the bicycle. Get out of the way. That's the kid these days.
Okay. Oh, yes, it does.
It's pretty scary in this thing.
Never mind.
Hey, modern cars these days, and yet they do. There's a boat and it's oh, Christina, why don't you play another record for Louis and Brawl? Recording on the Emperor of 30, all right?
Okay.
All right, play it. All right, Wasn't that fun?
Oh, that was fun, actually.
Christina, I'm a little bit surprised, though. I sound so young back then.
Feel good.
Thank you. Well, we love playing records, so we'll play another one.
Yes, we will. We'll play another one. And this one is going to be Composia Waltzes by Seeger's Orchestra. Sonophone 333 from December 1905. It's a 10-inch record.
We love sharing all these old records with you, and the purpose has been to make you happy. I'm happy right about now. 1,000 programs, oh my.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Way back when it was fun to do. It was nothing fancy. Both of us would kind of go along.
Yeah, after about 5 years, got a little stale, but...
Pray, and you shall receive what is needed. Our live was radio fan Bill Franklin, who during the summer of 2004 sent us a cassette tape of 5-inch diameter concert-sized sound records. They played on his Edison concert phonograph.
It was a little overmodulated, but pretty good.
Yeah, he gave us a taste of it, and he just happened to tune into Marion's attic in the 1930s, Sears Silvertone console radio. After many long phone calls, Bill and his cousin Judy invited us to their 18th century log cabin home on the side of a hill in Fritzdale, Pennsylvania.
Their log cabin was really cool.
Yes, it was. And we made a total of 26 programs at that location. Surrounded by phonographs, records, music boxes, roller organs, and coal heat. We missed them now, as Bill passed away in 2012. His wife Judy, only a year earlier. Now, here's a clip from show number 300 from June 2nd, 2007, and it's Bill's 20th century. Yes, I did, Marion. Yes, I did, Marion. You're welcome. Oh, I'm very glad. Guess what? What, Marion? Hello, Marion.
Oh, yeah, and that Black Hawk helicopter took the top out of my 100-year-old cherry tree. The government's going to be getting the bill for that one.
Boy, I'm really sorry about that, Bill, but the powers that be told me that Marion was going to be on here to listen to 20th century cylinders, and I couldn't miss it, so I took the first transport out of the Middle East and headed right over here.
Well, you know, it needed trimming anyway.
For the 300 programs we're going to play, one of the rarest, if not the rarest phonographs in the world. It's a full graphophone by Montreal, BC. Graphophone, also known as 20th century graphophone. And it's a pretty special one, right, Bill?
Yes, it's a little bit complicated and cumbersome. It's a huge box, big, heavy, but the reproducer makes it really unique. It's a special mechanical friction amplifier, and the diaphragm for it is how big, Marion?
It's about 4 inches in diameter. It's huge!
It's a big fat horn, right?
You must hear this phonograph in person. It's so loud. It sounds like the trumpets are just right in front of you. So we're going to start out right away. Christina, you do the in and outs on this one radio.
Okay, this one is called Housewarming Two-Step. And it's number 85148.
Go, Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, 6 inches long.
Oh, that was such a fun program, and an honor to play all these 6-inch long 3-minute cylinder the records on that thing.
That was cool.
Really cool. What else, Christina?
Okay, now we're going to hear an audio clip from show 204. This is from August 2004. It's our second show that we recorded with Bill and Judy. But this show, well, it included some liquid refreshments to loosen things up. We played Edison Diamond Disc, and towards the very end of the show, the singer pulled out his accordion and began to sing. It was the only time out of 1,000 shows that Marion was ever speechless and unable to finish the show at the moment. We had to tack on the end of the program later in post-production here in Marion's attic studio. So here's from show 204, Schnitzelbank.
2004.
2004.
Quit testing me. Und ich gebe der Rockport zurück zu dem Marion und guten Abend, Lord. Guten Abend, Liebe.
How about that, Christina?
That was good.
It was unbelievable, and I barely remember it. After this, CDs to be recorded onto.
That's right. And we always had a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch meal while we were there. That was wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Okay, also, we're going to feature some of our special Marion's Attic guests from over the years in our second hour. But first, let's hear a concert cylinder. This is going to be El Capitan Waltz by Bill Moore's band, Columbia Phonograph Company of New York and Paris.
Columbia Phonograph Company of New York and Paris.
the arts back then.
Yes, it was. And also, we must remember our sponsors that we've had over the years. Before we reflect back any further, though, we remind you that you are our number one sponsor, the radio fan of Marion's Attic.
There's more than one, Priscilla.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, it's you, singular, the radio fan of Marion's Attic. Thank you.
All we need is you today.
You.
That's right. And we do not produce Marion's Attic for fame or fortune.
That's for sure.
We do not use any social media accounts.
Nope.
We are not even seen on billboards plastered alongside of I-78 in Pennsylvania.
Hey, that's a great idea. We'll have to look into that.
Okay. But we did have some sponsors between the years of 2000 and 2008. And our most prolific initial sponsor was Tacarbon in Tulum, Puebla, Mexico. Our first commercial was set up by Scott Hadley, a longtime friend, at the Tacarbon restaurant. The owner of the restaurant, Don Roberto, loved the novelty of having a real radio spot made for his restaurant. It cost him only 1 peso.
That's about 8 cents.
This is our number one favorite Tacarbon commercial and produced with Scott Hadley.
And, let's set up this next audio clip. Christina, someone in Puebla, Mexico, actually heard over WBCQ a commercial on his shortwave radio, and his name was Juancho.
Yes, the listener Juancho heard the commercial on the shortwave radio. He showed up at Tacarbon to get his 10% discount on his meal by mentioning Marion's Attic. And Tacarbon owner Don Roberto explains he came down to claim it, and they were going to honor their promises. And Scott Hadley, after all these years, the commercials finally worked. Don Roberto laments, yes, only one, but I didn't expect very much.
On a very historic occasion. This is the first time since Tacarbon has been sponsoring Marion's Attic that someone actually heard the commercial on the program. 10% discount here at Tacarbon and came down to call them on it. Now, young man, what is your name and how did you find out about this 10% discount?
Hi, I am Pancho. And I was listening to my shortwave radio to customer English, and I heard this program with an old woman talking about old records. Then someone did the Tacarbon commercial, came on and knew the place right away. So I came on to get my 10 portion, and I am here. And the food is great.
Yes, it certainly is, and I do need to add that you actually wrote Marion to ask about the commercial, and she put you in touch so I could come here and interview you on this very historic occasion. Now we're going to ask Don Roberto if it's really true whether Juancho is the first one to call them on their 10% discount offer on the Tacarbon commercials at Marion's Attic.
Yes, is it true? Agreed. 10%. Honoring our promises.
After a year of these commercials, they finally worked, didn't they?
Only one. Well, it took very much.
It's better than nothing.
Oh, isn't that a classic?
Oh, yes.
And it was a real commercial. They were not spoofed. It was an actual commercial. And to prove that to you, we're going to roll another one of those spots. You ready?
Ready?
Let me get it ready.
Now we are talking with the other owner of the Tacarbon in English, and I just want to ask you, mostly, what sort of flavors of these tacos are there? What kind of food is this that we are eating here?
Well, the food is mostly the West Coast of Mexico. Mainly the states of Chihuahua, Sonora, and Baja California.
Well, if those states more or less border with the United States at one point.
Yes, all those states over in the United States.
I've noticed that a lot of times the food, the Mexican food that we have in Arizona, is very similar to the food that you serve here. Frog, jerk, because great fiber in the but it's very delicious. There's no doubt about that. And it's very popular. Do you have anything to say?
Just when you come to Puebla, you have to come to Sacagón. It's the best place to eat in Cholula.
Do you bring all of your friends here from the university and everything?
Of course. It's important that my friends come here.
It's the only place to go around here, that's for sure. Here at Estado
Hadley is really a gem. And he went on to produce his own program in Mexico for the University of Puebla on their radio station. And he has many of those capsules. I'm sure you can look them up. Senor Scott Hadley and Cholula, Puebla. How about that? All right. Well, Christina, it's your turn. It's the bottom of the hour.
Okay, you're listening to Marion's Antic on WBCQ Monticello, Maine, USA. www.wbcq.com. Global Community Radio, GCR2. UXCR, New Orleans, Louisiana. And this is show 1000.
Part one. We're going to have a part two in the next hour. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial once part of the show's over. Stay tuned all the way through 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Or 0 hours. Is it 0? No, it's 23 something. Check my GMT clock with you. All righty, Christina.
Yes.
Our next commercial is going to famous if they really work.
I did. And the Taco Bell ads told you we could put together commercials good enough to use on a resume of our potential. And we still have Victoria Repair Service as our sponsor. And Bill Frankfurt made the best Thomas Edison impression we've ever heard.
Christina!
What?
I can't see you. Turn on that light.
There you go, Mr. Edison.
Those complex fluorescent bulbs are terrible.
Green, Mr. Edison. Oh, never mind. You're 160 years old.
Oh, we can see my photographs. Hey, what are all these Victrolas doing in here?
These Victrolas need to be sent to Victrola Repair Service for repair.
I told you they needed a repair, unlike my phonographs. Victrola Repair Service is the perfect place to take photographs with a crank thing. Since my shop has been closed a short while, I use them all the time. They are the best place for repairs and purchasing photographs in the islands. Christina, please tell everyone how to get in touch.
Certainly, Mr. Edison. Call Victrola Repair Service at 1-800-239-4188. That's 1-800-239-4188. You can also check them out on the web. What? Yes, Mr. Edison.
Thank you.
Here's another Victrola Repair Service ad. It's the top 10 reasons for using Victrola Repair Service. Learned after using Victrola Repair Service. Number 10. Your photograph will hum like the neighbor's beehive. Number 9. Photograph brief not safe for ethnic sketches. Number 8. Billy Murray Records backwards it no longer sounds like Edison. Number 6. Model Nest cannot replace the traffic on your Model T. Number 6. Shouting through photograph horns while scaring off space aliens only aids the police. Number 5. St. Johnsbury is not Newfoundland. Number 4. Uncle Joe's cassettes are better than listening to Nasty Prophets from South Carolina. Number 3. Despite what Martha Stewart says, pink lambert and concert cylinders do not make good plant holders. Number 2. Nippers will not use brown wax cylinders adds two-tone. The number one thing learned after using Victrola Repair Service. Number one, Victrola Repair Service is the best place for phonograph service, and that's no joke. Call Victrola Repair Service at 1-800-239-4188. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 1-800-239-4188. Ask for the free catalog and tell them Marion sent you. Those radio ads are fun to write and record, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of fun. People like them, too. When Rod at the Victrola Repair Service said one of his customers, because of our ads, sent him 113 phonographs to repair. And I'm not kidding. Box down there. Alrighty, well, Christine, it's time to play another record.
Okay, this next record is a Zonophone 10-inch record, Zonophone 654.
Yeah, it's single-sided.
Okay, January 1907. This is Krull's Volklang Waltz by the Zonophone Concert Band.
Christina. They sound so good. They have a little bit more life in them than the Victor records at the same time. Mm-hmm. And yet they're owned by the same company. Sonophone should have Victor, but I think the Sonophone engineers had to try a little harder. So they had a nice arrangement of the instruments in front of the horn, and it was very well balanced.
It sounds very good.
All right, it's time to brag. Okay, I'm going to brag a little bit.
Okay.
This is about what we managed to do and what we planned. Everything. Go ahead.
Okay. Marion has many phonographs allowing us to play various formats.
And you can't play them all at once.
No. Okay. It's 78 48 RPM shellac records played on an electric turntable made by Gerard.
These are all records he plays,
1965. And 2-minute Edison black wax cylinders played on an Edison Standard Model D with a C or S reproducer from 1908. 2-minute Edison brown wax cylinders played on a home suitcase cylinder machine with an automatic reproducer from 1899. 2-minute Columbia black wax cylinders played on a Columbia BQ graphophone
with a beautiful red horn.
1909. 2-minute Columbia brown wax cylinders played on an AT graphophone 1898.
Low trunnion.
3-minute 6-inch long Columbia 20th century cylinders.
I cannot lift that phonograph, Christina. I can't move it. It's too heavy.
I know.
That's the BC graphophone.
The BC 20th century graphophone from 1907. It's heavy. 4-minute Edison black cylinders played on the Edison Standard D with an H reproducer. 1908. 4-minute Edison blue amberol cylinders played on an Edison Model
5B and
with a Diamond B reproducer from 1913. 5-inch diameter Edison concert cylinders, size cylinders, in brown wax played on an Edison concert machine with a D Model D reproducer, 1900.
And probably the best example of that particular concert phonograph that there is anywhere else. It plays beautifully. It looks perfect. Museum taste, like us. Well, me especially.
5-inch diameter Columbia concert cylinders played on a Columbia AG graphophone.
AG stands for almost grand.
1900. 7-inch Berliner discs from the 1890s played on a ratchet wind Berliner disc machine. 1897. Pathé vertical cut disc records played on a Pathé console machine from 1918. Edison diamond discs on our Edison London upright LU-37 in 1923. And homemade recordings on various formats.
Wow, that's a long rundown.
Yes, it is.
We've also aired on our programs over the years, thanks to Bill Frankfurt, 3-inch diameter Pathé salon cylinders. Those are Pathés and actually those are discs on a cylinder. And plus some unusual small diameter celluloid Leo-Ray cylinders dating from the mid-1890s, running only 90 seconds each or so. And using machines, these are all Paul and Judy's machines we used, and it was a wonderful thing. Unbelievable that long time.
Any other radio show top that?
I don't want to brag, but...
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
We do a pretty good job.
Yes, we do. I hope so.
We hope so.
All right, the next 78 disc is going to be Xonophone 651 from January 1907, Arabia March by the Xonophone Concert Band.
Besides all the phonograph records we listed before, we play a variety of mechanical music on this program. We have two music boxes, both made by Regina. And one machine is coin-operated, plays 15.5-inch discs, dating from about 1900. And the other is a Regina phone. That plays 11-inch music box discs and regular 78 RPM records. It's a combination machine and dating from 1906. There's the reproducer arm on the left, and they only made about 14 of those.
It's really neat. I love music boxes, I really do. But you know what? You also have a concert roller organ from the 1800s.
Oh, yes. We can thank Bill Frankfurt for getting us interested in roller organs. We had to buy at least one of them, and all those cobs with a nail sticking out of them. From the 1880s, mind you. It's older than the phonograph.
Yeah, and we're going to hear one now. This is titled Over There.
Gotta turn the crank. Here we go now.
Different.
Just hearing that again, it really pulls on me. I remember all the fun we used to have in that log cabin, Christina, in Fredstown, Pennsylvania, with Bill and Judy Frankfurt.
So much fun. Such a wonderful time.
Unbelievable machines.
Oh, yeah.
All right, how about another record?
Okay. This one is going to be Xylophone 07 from November 1906, Angel of Love Waltz. It's by Hager's Orchestra.
You travel back in time listening to all these old records. The original records, right off the garage like we are today. Or off the phonograph, all the other ones that Christina listed. And if you like the program, we always want you to write to us. As shortwave listeners are engaged with the broadcasters, and we'd like to engage with you. Thank you. And Christina, you're at your Marion's Attic.
Write to us at MarionWeb@AOL.com. MarionWeb@AOL.com. That's MarionWeb@AOL.com. MarionWeb@AOL.com. You can also write to us through the web address, which is MarionsAttic.net. MarionSAttic.net. Scroll down past the screaming fans and send us an email. And this is show 1000. Part 1.
Part 1. And please, stay tuned. Next hour. Don't touch that dial. We're going to broadcast an extra hour tonight. It's a special program. So stay tuned.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, here's the record.
Another Xylophone, number 52, from January 1905. This is Amos, and it's by Lagarde Republic of Paris.
To have made it to show number 1000. And it's all about you, making you happy. At least for this hour, actually 2 hours on this program. You can forget about all your problems. All the problems homes about the world. And you can tune into shortwave radio and have fun at least for a little while. And we hope we make you happy. Apparently we have, though.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
We've gotten to this point.
Yeah, our number one fans are you, because you have supported the program. And that's remarkable. So for you, our radio fans of Marion's Attic, we're going to play another hour of programming.
Yes, we
But
will.
let's play another record.
Okay, let's play another record.
This is a Victor record this time.
Yes, this time.
Not a Sonophone.
Right. This one is Victor.
It's owned by Victor, though. I mean, Victor,
That's true.
Victor Sonophone.
Victor 5639 from October 20th, 1908. This is Under the Double Eagle March. It's by Sousa's band. Of Marion's Attic, show number 1000, part 2, while WBCK takes a break for station identification.
Don't touch that dial. Don't touch it. No.
Keeping the dream alive. This is WBCQ. Monticello, Maine,
Marion, I think it's show number 1000. So let's give us a Christina. Look at this, oh my goodness. We're here, and let's keep going.
Okay, we'll go keep on going here. But before we return to this program, we want to share the programming note. Next week, June 15th, 2025, Marion's Attic, our 2-hour block will start off with a new program that we show 1001. We don't know yet what we're playing, but it will be a new show. During the second hour, we will be playing back a very special Marion's Attic. It's a recording of show number 686, which was performed live the WBCQ studio in Monticello, Maine, USA on October 1st, 2017. And guests were Tim Cerf, Alan Weiner, and the many radio fans who called in to talk to Marion. We got a lot of calls on the program. Yes, we did.
And we were quadrupasting, we had 4 transmitters at the same time. 3250, 6160, 7490, and 4 transmitters at once during that broadcast.
That's really cool. Oh, and here's a funny story about that. Funny and true story. At the time of the live broadcast, the U.S. Air Force was conducting practice operations in northern Maine, not too far from WBCQ's transmitters, and the pilots were tuned to 3265 kilohertz for their comms, and clearly heard Marion's voice on 3250 kilohertz. Then Marion Webster jamming the airport. The FCC promptly reassigned WBCQ to 3265.
Pilot the bombardier. Let's go. Let's play. Our first record. But before I do that, a reminder, make sure you tune in next week. We'll have 2 hours worth of Marion's fun. All right. Well, let's play the first record of this show. Hour 2 of our show 1000. And 25 years on WBCQ. Record. Yes, surprise. Some of you are probably wondering if we're going to play it.
This is by Alex Batali. It's a hit of the ready, everybody? It's...
played record on Marion's attic other than the Arkansas Huston days on the Columbia Band. That's the open of Marion's attic. In case you didn't know, it was recorded in 1901.
That particular tune that you just heard was called Blue.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Moving along. Has had many guests, but Baron von Knight, the distinguished, experienced technology collector with top secret credentials, has been associated with William the longest. Rakish, affable, and charming. Baron von Knight's specialty is Edison Diamond Disc Records.
Well, we call the next the wooden whistle.
Yes, it was funny, and we all got carried away, and I think we did embarrass.
And has been a wonderful contributor of Marion's attic all these years.
Yep. And so here's an outtake from show number 292, which aired March 10th, 2007. Swing those partners.
There you go, Marion. You can still dance.
Totally inebriated already. We're just getting started. Ready? Get another Edison Diamond Disc ready to go. Okay, next one here.
Called the Little Wooden Whistle. Oh,
I know all about that.
how you did.
Happened over once in a while.
Trouble here, blow the little whistle and your daddy will be near. When snowing with a chance that evening in the party's wonderful day. He said, please give me a little squeeze, and Mary grabbed the whistle right away. But the little wooden whistle, wooden whistle, wooden whistle, wooden whistle. Now he's you know, and every time he feel it, it blow, 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 just a little wooden whistle, wooden whistle. No matter how he tried, it wouldn't go. He said, you're just the kind of girl for me. Then kiss her underneath the willow tree. Blow the whistle, a little wooden whistle, just a little wooden whistle. Prepared and grabbed the little whistle in her hand. But the little wooden whistle wouldn't whistle.
Thank you. Very good, Marion. Blowing the whistle there, Marion.
What does that song mean? Oh, yeah. Breathe. Take a deep breath.
That record does it to him all the time, Marion.
Okay, the next it's called I Love to Dunk a Hunk of Sponge Cake. I think... Okay. It's by the Happiness Boys. Ernest, boy, too.
I'm a happy boy now.
Oh my God! I don't know if we ever played this, but I know we heard it with Bill and Judy. I love to. Oh my goodness! The microphone. I love
Anyway, we'll put this on. Billy Jones and Ernest here. I'm sure you'll love this record.
It's a good one. It's very good.
I think I wet myself.
Oh, I'm having hot flashes over here. Oh man. That's really Oh, it's still funny.
I'm a little bit embarrassed. But that's what happened, and that's what aired, and we kind of repeated that a couple of times, didn't we, that show? That was a favorite amongst some of our listeners, of course. Well, that's Baron Von Knight, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Baron Von Knight. And he's handy during all occasions.
Yeah.
And is an excellent pilot of automobiles and flying craft.
That's right. Flying craft. Keep that in mind. All right, well, I'm glad you're retired now. Dangerous job. Those rocket fuel burns were nasty.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Continue with fun facts of Marion's attic.
Okay, some fun facts of Marion's attic. Marion started broadcasting on September 21st, 1999 on 7415 kilohertz. And we moved around the dial a little. We changed the time a little and ended up at 7490 kilohertz Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Our airtime and place on the dial has stayed the same since October 30th, 2011.
And this show is show number 1000, part 2. And don't forget, next week we'll have a brand new program. And then the second hour, we're going to repeat our special live broadcast from WBCQ. That was back in 2017.
Yes, sir.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was
Fun! Exclamation point. It was on my program. And that's Tim Strong. Tim Smith.
Tim Smith.
Distinguished engineer. I liked his kilt.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, well, anyway, keep going now.
Okay. Well, you know what? After 1,000 shows, the fans are still with us.
Thank you.
Still supporting us. And we hear from new listeners all the time.
Believe it or not, the shortwave radio is not dead. Not when WBCQ was around.
And us. Okay, time for another record. This is going to be a Columbia Blue Select record.
Ooh, that's right there. It's so smooth and silky.
This is 2878. And this is from December 18th, 1933. This is Rip in the Scotch Foxtrot by Benny Goodman and his orchestra.
Blue record.
Over the years, we've had many guests, but we've been the guests of two very special people. Listen to the Lord of Lidditz and sometimes North Gretna, Pennsylvania. Listen to Lars open their doors and allowed us to continue our recording tradition. My Knight joins us there too sometimes.
What nice photographs and records they have. Bruce did. Bruce did and won at auction. Bill Piper's C19 Edison Laboratory Diamond Disc photograph. The exact photograph that Bill and Judy did in their log cabin home. And the same photograph previously used on Marion's epic shows there.
Yes, listen to ours who are our bridge to the future. They continue to welcome us each year, and we certainly enjoy their company, friendship, and support.
Amen.
We've had a lot of good quality time spent in Pennsylvania. Thank you. Now here's a clip from Lidditz, Pennsylvania, of our recording session from show number 734, November 11th, 2018.
A gigantic picture orthophonic phonograph, and we're going to hear a record on it, and let Bruce and us tell you the story as it unfolded. Here we go. Yes. It's about 4.5 feet wide, and it has this gigantic horn that's over. I think they call it exponentially a divine horn, folded exponential horn, and it's a substantial machine with a big electric motor, and a little that can be inside the reach it and put the record in. Anything else you want to add? Where'd you find it? What's the story behind it?
The story behind it was on Craigslist about 3 years ago, and family was the person who purchased this used to own the Hudson dealership, which is an old car dealership.
Burned in the early 1960s. And snow and build up inside of those windows of the car because they get all jammed up and she had a hard time steering. At one time she crashed into a telephone pole.
The people that originally had it tried to give it to the museum locally here, but it weighs over 300 pounds. So the museum didn't want it.
My sister Bernadina weighed 300 pounds. No, I don't think so. She'd get really mad at herself when she
I was lucky. I have a restaurant Amishman next door, and he and I with a dolly in my pickup truck, we went over and negotiated the sale. They also wanted us to buy a Packard player piano, which probably weighed 500 pounds, but we didn't leave that one behind. It took me 2 years to get the machine running. It has a lot of yes. And I found a fellow in San Francisco that actually reproduced the pot round forks in a Delron plastic, which I couldn't have restored this without his help. And I have it all restored, and I think it sounds pretty good.
wonderful, marvelous, and where else could you hear it? Maybe YouTube, I suppose, but not in the form of a radio program, Christina, right?
That's right.
And we have Christina because no one else has it. That's right. Next record. Here, I have a little bit of time, okay?
Okay. Listen, this is a Victor record. It's about Wales, but it has a little E stamp. Take a look. Oh, number 19919, side B. Now, this is called the Little Black Mustache Thing. We don't turn it, I don't know if it's historical or not. What's interesting is, it's by Vernon Dalhart. I have never seen anywhere this particular record listed.
And it has a little big stamp on it, so it's an early orthophonic. Oh, here it comes. Get ready, Marion, okay? Here we go.
Once I had a charming boy, I loved him dear as life. I thought the time would surely come when I would be his wife. When I would be his wife. When I would be his wife. I thought the time would surely come when I would be his wife. He came to me Sunday night and stayed till almost 3. He said he never loved a girl as much as he loved me. As much as he loved me. As much as he loved me. He said he never loved a girl as much as he loved me.
And so on. Wonderful. He produced many shows with Bruce and Lawrence. And thank you. I know you're listening. So, hello there.
Hello!
All righty. Well, there's another person that we want to mention.
Yeah. Okay, we want to give credit to the person who launched Marion's Attic into the minds of many shortwave listeners. That person was Michael Petter, then WBCQ's program manager, who in June of 2000 aired his new program called Here Now. This program was a mixture of pop, techno, music, sound bites, interpretive sound effects, arranged in clever arrangements. And brand new digital multi-track layer editing technique gave the show its 21st century sound and feeling. And Here Now featured a 20-minute segment called Magic Radio, hosted by Tasha Jenkins. With her seductive and sultry-sounding voice, she spilled the beans about the life and times of Merriam-Webster, and several times
Within Marion's Attic. And we are in debt for the basic memories. Thank you. Well, our cat, Electra. More than once, perhaps 4 or 5 times, Electra would knock her arm off the record. If she didn't like it. If she didn't like the record, she'll let you know. And she hated cylinder records. Oh, if I ever played my cylinder phonograph, she'd run. But she loved electrical recordings from the 1920s and 30s.
Yeah, Electra would sit in a chair facing the radio, listening to Marion's attic. After the show was over, she would hop off the chair and walk slowly away. If we played Cylinder in the air, forget it. Electra would shake her back foot at us at the radio and run away.
I guess she was trying to tell us something.
I think so.
Well, I have a little clip of her just purring a little bit when she was in the attic, my little jitters. Oh, there she is. Isn't that sweet, Christina? No. That was a great cat. My shortwave radio cat. All righty, well, let's continue on. I'm alive, Christina. Here's Christina.
I'm alive. Okay.
1:30.
You're listening to Marion's Attic on WBCQ, Monticello, Maine, USA. www.wbcq.com. Global Community Radio, GCR2. WFC, New Orleans, Louisiana. This is show 1000, part 2.
1,000. Bravo. Bravo, Marion. Bravo. Bravo, Christina. All right, then. I gotta turn the page.
Okay.
Read next, there.
Okay.
That's right, we're playing a record.
Okay. This one will be another Blue Shellac Columbia record, 834D from October 2nd, 1833. This is Doing the Town Blowdown by Joe Venuti and his Blue.
amazing. That record is 92 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Sounds really good.
I'd like to hear from anybody that would remember that song from back then. Finally, somebody older than me.
Okay. Marion's attic has gone on the road many times with portable recording equipment.
With a Model A, but mostly modern automobile.
For the past 25 years, the show has been recorded in a lighthouse, in a moving Model A Ford,
We heard that last hour.
at Cape Cod during a gale force storm,
That was wild.
in an 18th century log cabin,
Still in shooting?
inside an open and active antique shop with a steam-powered railroad line. Also, at a cottage in Mount Gretna, and in a delightfully arranged diverse room located in Lidditz, Pennsylvania. But we're going to hear a clip from the antique shop, Railroad Antiques. This is show 736, November of 2018.
They recorded the show in a real antique shop. Oh my. Welcome up to Marion's on WBCQ, Monticello, Webster, and along with me is your co-host is Christina. Hello, Christina.
Hello, Marion.
Where are you? Where are we?
We are in Railroad, Pennsylvania, at Railroad Antiques
General Store.
General Store.
Okay, don't lean in too much. I'm
sorry.
Now say that one more time in a pretty voice. Go ahead.
Okay, we are in Railroad, Pennsylvania, and we're at Railroad General Store in
We're in Pennsylvania, and the shop owner here, his name is Skip, and he's a beautiful shop filled with photographs and antique phonograph records, and we're in the midst of all the things that we like the most, right, Christina?
That's right.
And we're going to play phonograph records on Skip's machine with his records. And guess what? We can play the records afterwards, can't we?
We can.
Oh, not all of them. Some of them are real treasures, so stand by. Welcome to Marion, and let's introduce Skip. Hello, and welcome to Marion.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful. And can you tell us about your shop? It's called Railroad General Store. How long has it been? How old is this building?
The building was actually built in the 1840s.
Oh, that's what they used
It was originally a mill, but they had trouble controlling the water flow, so they turned it into a general store in the 1850s.
It's right next to railroad tracks, I see. Trains are going by, and I put a penny on the track, but it fell off. Anyway, we'll talk a little more about the shop. Let's get the music playing. What are we going to hear first? Christina, that's the shop door, but
Okay, this is going to be an Edison Diamond Disc record, number 52305L, called My Gal Style. It's a foxtrot, and it's by the Worcester, Pennsylvania Boys. Back to the boys.
I've never heard that one before, so
Skip is going to put it on the Edison Diamond Disc machine. Which machine is this?
This is an Edison Diamond Disc playing and married with drawer storage and outdoor.
pardon the rumbling, but we're winging it here. Oh, here we go, folks. not an MP3 file, is it, Christina?
No, it's not. Well, the store.
Like that.
Yeah, that was so good. People came into the store, too, and there was actually one running around.
She liked it.
Yeah, she thought that was pretty cool.
There was a young couple that left, clutching each other, running for their lives.
And the place would rumble sometimes when they were saying goodbye, or you hear the whistle, if they're in the intersection.
That was fun. So we go on the road once in a while.
Right. Here's that academy. Show number 1,000. And what is it like to produce 1,000 shows for WBCQ, the planet, Marion?
We produce a program. Make people happy. That's the goal. Without the intention of being famous or being paid, for that matter. It's hobby broadcasting at its best. And that covers a very wide area. We have a wonderful coverage. Unlike any other radio station, we have shortwave, which covers a wide area. And it's wonderful, isn't it? Shortwave is broadcasting.
And if we tried, we could have promoted ourselves better. It's simple. Most of the time, it's easy for Marion to pick up the record. She has that knack for finding order and disarrangement. Her system for finding records is the DWWII system. That's the damn it, Webster, where is it system?
We hit the record button, and we do not stop recording until 59 minutes and 42 seconds later. No editing. In this modern age, we don't use editing. We roll everything in live, including the phonographs. And as is with all the live the tape, we roll in sound bites and spin records just like the live broadcast. Recording in this manner makes every recording session a challenge. And it's fun, exactly like live radio.
You never know what Marion's going to say. We do this used during the program. We make quotes from references to radio fans mail, but you never know what she's going to say.
I have to curtail that. Oh, if I could only say what I'm thinking sometimes.
Okay.
But we keep it clean, and we have people from all ages listen to Marion's Attic. From 8 to 80, well, actually, we've had listeners in our 90s. And they liked it very much, so it's nice. All right.
Okay. We're going to roll a 78 RPM record.
A blue shellac record from the early 30s with Columbia.
Yes, we are. This is Columbia 2721 from January 12th, 1931. This is Heading for Better Times. Ted Lewis and his band singing Ted Lewis.
On a board to the Southern Station. This train is headed for better times. On a board.
dark gloom, he won't be allowed. No, he'll have to... At a time. And it's supposed to pack a trunk of junk filled with yesterday. No, because tomorrow. Oh, yes, sir, we're going to stay. And you know, as we go from state to state, we're counting things like rain on that choo-choo minute. Needed at that time, 1931, in the depths of the Depression, the Great Depression. And if you live through it, you're a pack rat. You save everything, every single little record. You have to save every little piece of paper. You have to save every little tidbit. But that's okay, you know. Did you know, Christina? Here's a fact.
Well,
I want to make sure that we want to welcome and encourage all others who want to share their record collection with the years of shortwave radio. We encourage any person to share their record collection with the world. And please keep in mind this important observation. If you're going to share your records, keep this in mind. Don't get discouraged. Do you know, Christina? You know the fact. That fact.
only 5% of the show 100. How did we make it to show 1,000? We made it because of you, the listeners of WBCQ, what station you turn to. Getting to show 1,000 was not exactly easy. Here are some of our difficulties that we encountered. Yep. Y2K. 11. Get many friends and fans.
Yep. That was murder. We kept going, though, didn't we?
Solar storm.
We did our best to keep everybody cheerful, anyway.
Yes, we did.
No matter what.
The most difficult recording sessions for either of us, though, were when we were returning to injury or after major surgery. Sickness, bad weather, and lastly, Marion's occasional old medication.
What happened? What happened?
But overall, I know, but overall, my experience has been a positive one with you, Marion.
Thank you.
Here are some of the wonderful things that have come up. I've experienced the challenge of recording Marion's attic each week.
Thrilling, isn't it?
I've increased my knowledge of music and the artist on record. And via email or in person. And, well, you know, the patient's threshold is rather high. You do drive me crazy with this, you know.
I promise to give you a 100% raise, all right?
Okay. I don't make any sense.
We're both in the world.
It's 1,000.
Or at least 100. Feels like 100 years.
No.
I'll read the next title there.
Oh, yeah. 100 years from now. Yes, the title of this Blue Columbia. So, Blue Select Columbia record 2853D from November 27, 1933. The title is 100 Years From Now by Ethel Waters with Ben Goodman and his orchestra.
And
Very sweet. I like that.
Let me tell you a few things. Well, as I was approaching our age, I wondered what could I do with my life? How can I make people happy in this world? I prayed to God. How can I help humanity? Then WBCQ entered my life in 1999. I have been able to share my records with short actors and listeners on the web, of course. I've gotten so much positive feedback from radio listeners around the world. I got to experiment with the first method to enhance the sound quality. We really strived to keep it analog and the best benefit of doing Marion's advocate is meeting people. And all have opened up, resulting in better programs and more interesting records for us to play.
And we want to say a big thank you. There were too many fans for us to mention on the program here. But we want to say a special thank you to my husband, James.
Oh, yeah.
His patience, driving skills,
Good driver.
and his supply of earplugs.
What? A little secret, huh? Sometimes. Well, dear Christina, I've taken away, James, I'm speaking to you, James. I've taken away your girl way too much. Your love and devotion to Christina every day. Thank you, dear, for letting me borrow her for a little while. Now, don't forget Alan Weiner. Alan Weiner, owner of WBCQ. You can blame him for all the noise on the air. Alan Weiner, you gave us access to the airwaves, and that's your life's work. Thank you, Alan. Do we have time for another record? Christina, read that.
Okay.
Right. Wait. I want to say one other thing. There's so many kind words people have said over the years, right?
Yes.
And I saved them. I saved this last one. It's so simple. There's somebody calling up and Good luck, Marion.
Hi, this is Ed from Glastonbury. I wish Marion Bannock and Christina a very happy 9th anniversary in WBCQ.
Isn't that nice?
That's very nice.
Photograph record here.
Okay, this one's going to be another Blue Shellac, Blue Shellac Columbia record. It's another Australian, and I didn't quite write it down. 27 something. I messed that up.
Columbia 2727 Delta.
2727 Delta. Okay, and it's by Louis Armstrong and his orchestra.
Christina.
Okay.
And you've been listening to Marion, a special super show. Showed up in the I want to thank all my listeners of WBCQ for being wonderful all these years, and we'll keep going for now, right?
Right.
And don't forget, we love all of you. You're always by our side. Now, please come back to the show and the live show from WBCQ transmitter. Bye-bye, thank you.
Goodbye.
Land of Freedom, this is WBCQ, Monticello, Maine, USA.